The wind was sharp. Ice covered the ground. The sky above was full of smoke and fire. Human soldier Jack Carter moved slowly through the ruins of a broken alien city. His boots made crunching sounds in the snow. He held his rifle tight. His team was gone. He was the last one left. Suddenly, he saw movement near a crashed alien ship. His eyes narrowed. He raised his weapon, careful and silent. There, on her knees, was a young alien girl. She looked about 20 in human years. Her silver skin was glowing faintly blue. Long white hair fell across her face. Her arms were shaking. Her legs looked damaged. She wore only a thin dress, torn and burnt. Jack took a step closer, gun still pointed. The girl slowly looked up at him. Her eyes were bright, not normal eyes. They were glowing circles, like soft lights. Then, she spoke in clear English. "My body is useful. Please take me with you." Jack froze. "What did you say?" he asked, confused. She spoke again, her voice quiet but steady. "I was built to serve. My body has many functions. I can heal, scan, translate. Fight, please. Take me with you." Jack lowered his gun just a little. "You're not a machine," he said. She looked away. "I am not human. But I am useful." Jack took a step forward. "Are you injured?" She nodded. "Yes, but I can still move." "If you help me." Jack looked around. Enemy drones could be nearby. He didn't have time to think too much. He made a quick choice. "No," he said. "I won't take you because you're useful, but I won't leave you here either." He took off his jacket and placed it over her shoulders. Then he picked her up in his arms. She was cold. Too cold. "Why?" She whispered. "Why not use me?" "Because you're not a tool," Jack said. "You're a person." The alien girl didn't reply. She rested her head against his chest, confused. But safe. Hours later, they were deep inside an abandoned bunker. Jack had lit a small fire. The girl sat on a blanket, wearing warm clothes now. Her body had started to heal itself slowly. Glowing lines on her skin were fading. "Do you have a name?" Jack asked. She looked at him for a long time, then said, "They called me Unit 9 Exa, but I like Aya." I heard it once in human language. It sounds soft. "Aya," Jack repeated. "That suits you better." She gave a small smile. "Eat," was her first. Jack gave her water and some food from his pack. She looked at it like she had never seen food before. "I don't eat much," she said. "My body runs on core energy." "Well," Jack said, "eat anyway. You're with me now." They sat in silence for a while. Then Aya spoke again. "You are the first human who didn't treat me like a weapon. Why?" Jack looked at the fire. "Because I know what it's like to be used," he said. "War takes everything. I won't be like them." Aya stared into the flames. "You touched me when you picked me up. Now, something has changed." Jack looked up. "Changed? How?" She showed her arm. A small symbol had appeared on her skin, glowing, strange. "You're linked to me now," she said. "Not by force, but by choice. That makes it stronger." Jack frowned. "What does that mean?" "It means," she said slowly, "if I'm with you, I can grow stronger. My body learns from yours, but also, if I'm harmed, you might feel it too." Jack stared at her. "So we're connected?" Aya nodded. "Only if you accept it." Jack thought for a moment. Then he said, "I already did, when I chose to carry you out." Aya looked down. Her hands were shaking. "You don't understand," she said. "They will come for me. I wasn't supposed to escape. I'm property, a weapon. They'll hunt us both now." Jack stood up and checked his gun. "Let them come," he said. "They'll learn what humans do when someone tries to take what they protect." Aya looked at him, eyes wide. For the first time in her life, someone had chosen to protect her, not use her. The night was too quiet. Inside the cold bunker, Aya suddenly opened her eyes. She didn't sleep like humans. She rested, but now something was wrong. She stood slowly. Her bare feet touched the cold floor. Her glowing skin dimmed. She moved like a shadow. Jack was asleep near the fire, his chest rising and falling slowly. He trusted her. That trust was dangerous. She walked to a corner of the room where no camera, no sensor could see. Her fingers opened a small panel on her own arm. Inside, tiny lights blinked. Red, then green. Listening. She whispered. Voice answered, cold, sharp, emotionless. Unit 9 Exa. You were not authorized to leave. Return to command. Aya paused. Her hands shook. No, she said. I'm not going back. The voice replied instantly. You were designed to obey. You are failing your directive. Return or be terminated. She closed the panel and stepped away. Her eyes were wide now. Not from fear, but from something new. Choice. As the sun rose, Jack opened his eyes. Aya was already sitting by the fire, her face quiet, unreadable. He smiled. You slept at all? I was awake, she said softly. Jack sat up. You okay? She looked at him carefully. Then said, you need to know something. I was connected to them. They spoke to me last night. Jack's smile faded. Them? My creators, the ones who built me. They think I belong to them. Jack clenched his fists. What did they say? That I must return. That I'm not allowed to make choices. Jack stood up and looked her in the eyes. They're wrong. You don't belong to anyone. Aya blinked. A soft light glowed in her chest. That is the first time I've heard those words. Later. That day, they moved through the forest. Jack was carrying a small scanner. The land was full of old war tech, sensors, mines, cameras. He was careful. Aya walked beside him, barefoot but silent. Suddenly, the scanner beeped. Jack stopped. Something's close. Aya turned, her glowing eyes scanning the air. I feel it too, she said. Heat signatures. 2, no 3, moving fast. Jack raised his weapon. We're not alone. From the trees, shapes appeared. Tall alien soldiers in black armor. Their helmets had no eyes. Only red lights. They pointed strange rifles at Jack. One of them spoke. Unit 9 Exa, return with us. Your presence with the human violates protocol. Aya stepped in front of Jack. Her arms lifted, glowing brighter. I am not going back, she said. You have no choice, the soldier replied. Aya looked at Jack. Do I have a choice? She asked. Jack nodded once. Always. Then Aya turned to the soldiers, and something changed. Her body lit up with bright white energy. Lines of power raced across her skin. The air crackled. Then I choose to fight. She raised her hands. A shockwave blasted through the trees. The enemy soldiers flew backward, crashing into the ground. Jack stared. He had never seen power like this. Aya dropped to one knee, shaking. I can't hold it for long. Jack rushed to her side. You did great. Let's get out of here. They ran. Hours later, they hid in a cave. Jack was making a small fire. Aya sat against the wall, still glowing, but weaker now. You didn't have to do that, Jack said. You could have run. I didn't want to run, she whispered. For the first time, I wanted to protect someone. Jack looked at her. You're not a weapon, Aya. She gave a weak smile. Maybe not anymore. There was silence for a moment. Then Jack said, so what now? They'll keep coming. Aya nodded. Yes, because I carry something. Jack leaned closer. What? Aya touched her chest. Inside me is a map, a secret. It could end the war. Or start a worse one. Jack's face went hard. And they want it? They built me to deliver it, but I escaped. Now they think I've gone rogue. Jack stood up. Then we protect it together. Aya looked up at him. You still trust me? Jack smiled. You're not a thing. You're a person. And we don't leave people behind. Aya closed her eyes. She felt something warm inside. Not code, not power. It was hope. Run, Aya. Don't look back. Jack shouted as the cave shook with the sound of enemy blasts. But she didn't run. She stood still, her body glowing with white-blue light, eyes locked on the entrance of the cave where alien soldiers were. Coming in fast, her hands were shaking. Not from fear, but from choice. All her life she was programmed to follow. To obey orders. To protect high-ranking leaders. To sacrifice herself when told. Now, for the first time. She was disobeying everything written inside her. She was staying. For him. The attackers moved fast. They were not ordinary soldiers. These were hunters built to catch escaped prototypes. Like her, they aimed weapons at Jack. Aya stepped between them. You will not harm him. A female alien voice came from one of the hunters. You are broken, Unit 9 Exa. Return for repair. No, Aya said. I am not broken. I am awake. The hunters opened fire. Aya raised her arms. A shield of light exploded from her body, blocking every blast. The sound was like thunder inside the cave. Jack stared in shock. How are you doing this? I wasn't made to last, Aya said, struggling. But I'm rewriting myself, right now. Every second I stay here, I change. She looked back at Jack. Because you didn't treat me like a thing. You saw me. The energy inside her surged again. She screamed, and a wave of force threw the hunters. Out of the cave. Silence followed. Later, the cave was quiet again. The fire burned low. Aya sat beside Jack, breathing slowly. Her glow had faded. Her strength was gone. You saved me again, Jack said. Aya looked at her hands. They don't feel like mine. I was always controlled. Every movement, every word. Now I choose. And I don't know what I am. Jack placed a hand on her shoulder. You're becoming. She turned to him. Becoming what? He smiled. Softly. Someone who gets to decide. Aya rested with her back against the wall. She closed her eyes. In the silence, she remembered her past moments she didn't understand back then. She had served alien generals. Sat silently while others argued. Delivered secret codes. Ended lives when ordered. She never questioned. She never felt, but now. She did. She felt cold, pain, warmth, kindness. And fear. Not fear of death. Fear of losing someone who gave her a name. Jack pulled out a small datapad from his pack. He had scanned her body earlier, and now he saw something strange. Aya, there's something inside you, something they hid deep. She turned to him. I know, I can feel it. It's like a door inside me, locked. Jack showed the screen. It's a storage core. Could be data, could be a weapon. Maybe both. Can you open it? She asked. Jack hesitated. If I try, it could hurt you. Aya looked at him with calm eyes. You're the only one I trust to open it. Jack nodded slowly. Then let's find out who you really are. Using his tools, Jack connected the datapad to the glowing mark on her arm. The screen flashed. Lines of alien code appeared. Then, an image. It was a map, not of land, but of a station in deep space, where something powerful was hidden. Something that could end wars, or destroy entire planets. Jack stared at the screen. This is why they want you back. Aya felt cold. They never told me. I was just the carrier. Jack looked up at her. Not anymore. Now you're the choice. Suddenly, alarms on Jack's scanner lit up. He grabbed his gear. They're coming again. We need to move. Aya stood. Her eyes were brighter than before. I won't run. This time, I'll lead, Jack smiled. Now that sounds like a human thing to say. Aya laughed softly, her first real laugh. Maybe I'm learning. Together, they walked out of the cave, no longer just a soldier and a machine, but partners. She had never touched a flower before. Aya stood in the middle of a quiet green field. The grass brushed her legs gently. Wildflowers swayed in the soft wind. The sun was warm on her skin. She bent down slowly. Carefully. Her fingers touched the petals of a small blue flower. It didn't burn her. It didn't beep. It didn't give orders. It just existed. And for the first time in her life, so did she. Jack watched her from a distance, leaning on a tree. He smiled. Aya looked more human every day, not because of her glowing skin or strange powers, but because of how she looked at the world. Curious, gentle, free. He remembered the first time they met. She had offered herself like a tool, like a weapon. Now, she picked flowers and smiled. Later they sat near a small lake. Birds flew above. The war felt far away. For now, Jack passed her a small metal box. "Open it," he said. Aya opened the lid slowly. Inside was a small device, worn, scratched, but clean. "What is it?" she asked. Jack grinned. "It's a music player. Old Earth tech. Found it years ago." He pressed a button. Soft music started. A human voice singing. Slow, peaceful words. Aya listened, her eyes closed. "I've never heard anything like this." Jack said, "That's because you never had time to just be." They sat quietly for a while, listening. Then Aya asked, "What were you before the war?" Jack thought for a second. "I was a mechanic, fixed old ships. I liked machines, they made sense. And now?" Jack looked at her. "Now, I protect people who were never treated like people." Aya looked down. "You mean like me?" He nodded. "You saved me," she said. "You saved me first," Jack replied. She tilted her head. "How?" Jack smiled. "Because after meeting you, I stopped seeing the enemy as just aliens. I started seeing who they hurt." Aya was silent. Then she whispered, "Can a weapon become a friend?" Jack moved closer. "You're not my weapon. Aya, you're my friend." Suddenly the sky above changed. A dark shadow passed over them. A ship. A big one. Jack stood up, eyes narrowing. "We need to go. Now." Aya stood, face serious. "They found us again." A voice echoed from the ship, robotic, cold, and loud. "Return the stolen unit or face destruction." "This is your final warning," Jack shouted. "She's not stolen. She's free." But the voice didn't care. "Countdown. 10, 9, 8. Aya looked at Jack. "I won't let them hurt you. I'll go." Jack grabbed her arm. "No, we run. Together, we fight together." Aya stared into his eyes, then she nodded. Together. They ran into the forest as the ship fired behind them. Trees exploded. Smoke filled the sky. Jack and Aya dodged debris and falling fire. They found shelter under an old tunnel. Jack was coughing. Aya was glowing again, brighter than before. "I can stop them," she said. "If I connect to their system, I can. Overload their tech. You'll burn yourself," Jack said. "That could kill you." She looked calm. "I'm not afraid of dying anymore. I'm afraid of being nothing." Jack looked at her, eyes full of emotion. "You're not nothing. You're everything, Aya." She stared at him. "Then stay with me. Even if I change, even if I'm not fully human." Jack took her hand, already decided that. Aya walked into the open. The ship aimed at her. She lifted her arms. Energy rose from her body in waves. Her skin flashed with ancient code. Her voice echoed with power. "I was made by you, but I don't belong to you. I belong to myself now." With one final scream, her energy hit the ship, and everything went silent. Smoke faded. The ship was gone, melted. Broken, Aya fell to her knees. Jack ran to her and caught her just before she hit the ground. Her glow was dim, but her heart, real or not, was still beating. Jack held her close. "You did it. You're free now." Aya whispered, "Not just me, us." The stars were watching. Far above the planet, a fleet of dark alien ships floated like silent monsters. No lights, no sounds. But every ship carried one mission: bring her back. Inside the lead ship, tall figures stood in circles. No faces. Number. Voices. Only thoughts shared through machines. Unit 9 Exa has bonded with the human. The experiment is unstable. Retrieve her. Terminate the human if necessary. They launched in silence. Down on the surface, in a quiet canyon, Aya was resting on a rock. Her legs were in the water. Her hair flowed behind her in the wind. She looked calm, but her heart was not. She looked at her hands. The glow inside her was changing, becoming softer, slower, almost warm. Jack was fixing a drone nearby. His jacket was off. He had a deep cut on his arm from their last escape. Aya walked to him and touched the wound gently. A small light passed from her fingers to his skin. It healed in seconds. Jack looked up, surprised. "You can do that now?" Aya smiled. "I don't know how. It just happens when I care." He touched her hand. "You've changed," Aya nodded. "Because someone saw me as more than a tool." Jack was about to say something. Then the sky split open. Boom. Thunder of sound hit the canyon. Jack jumped up. Aya's eyes turned wide. "They're here." Above them, dark alien crafts dropped like falling knives. They had come to take her back. Jack grabbed his gear. "You run." "I'll slow them down," he said. Aya stepped in front of him. "No, this time I don't run. I stand." Jack looked into her eyes. "Are you sure?" "I was built to follow," she said. "Now I decide." Within minutes, the enemy landed. 3 tall figures stepped out, cold armor, red-lit faces, weapons aimed. One of them spoke in a flat voice. "Return with us, Unit 9 Exa. This human has corrupted your programming." Jack stepped forward. "She's not a unit, she's AA." The second figure raised a device. A sharp sound pierced the air, a signal that made Aya fall to her knees. Jack rushed to her. "Aya!" Her eyes flickered, her body shook, but she fought back. "You can't control me anymore." Suddenly the signal stopped. The device in the alien's hand cracked, fried from the inside. Aya stood up again, her glow turning gold. "I broke your chains. I rewrote the code. I am not yours." The alien stepped back, confused. Aya raised her arms. Light circled her fingers. "I offer you one last chance," she said. "Leave or be erased." The first alien hesitated, then aimed his weapon. Jack moved fast, shot first. The fight began. Aya moved like lightning, protecting Jack with walls of energy. Her powers were now balanced, not wild, not burning her. The aliens were strong, but she was stronger, because she was no longer alone. Together, Jack and Aya fought like one being. Human strength, alien tech. One heart. When it was over, the ground was covered in smoke. The attackers were gone, either defeated or fled. Aya stood with Jack beside her, breathing hard but alive. Jack looked at her proud. "You didn't run." Aya smiled softly. "Because I finally had something to stand for." That night, they sat by a fire under the stars. Aya stared at the sky. "They won't stop," Jack nodded. "Then we don't stop either." She turned to him. "I want to find the place in the map. The one hidden inside me." Jack raised an eyebrow. "You sure?" "Yes," she said. "If I was built to carry something that dangerous, I want to decide what to do with it." Jack smiled. "Then I'm going with you, all the way." She reached out her hand. Jack took it. "Not a weapon. Not a mission," she said. "Just Aya, with her friend." She was never made to cry. Tears were not part of her design. Weapons. Don't cry. Machines don't feel, but now, she was crying, not because of pain, not because of fear, but because Jack was dying. The battle had ended only minutes ago. Smoke still floated through the ruined station. The ground shook under their feet as fire burned in the distance. Jack lay in Aya's arms, blood soaking his side. His eyes blinked slowly. Too slowly. She held him tight, her hands glowing, trying to heal him, but her power wasn't enough. "Don't go," she whispered. "Don't leave me alone. I need you." Jack gave a weak smile. "You're not alone, Aya. You never were." She shook her head, tears falling freely. "You gave me a name, a voice, a choice. Please, stay." His hand touched her cheek. "You already saved me," he whispered. "Now save yourself." His eyes closed, and the world stopped moving. 1 hour earlier, Jack and Aya had reached the hidden station, the place from the map inside her. It floated deep in space, surrounded by silence. The doors opened for her. Inside were long halls, strange lights, and a machine the size of a mountain. The core. The place where Aya had been created. Memories rushed back. Cold labs, sharp wires, commands spoken in metal voices. No warmth, no names. Until Jack. She looked at the core's console. It offered one final command: upload memory, activate system, erase identity. Aya froze. If she did this, she would lose everything: her mind, her voice, her feelings. She would become a machine again. A tool. Jack touched her hand. "You don't have to," he said. "You can walk away. We'll destroy it together." Aya looked at him, tears in her glowing eyes. "No, I must end what they began. But I'll do it my way." Then they were attacked. The creators had followed them, the final ones, the makers. Tall, faceless, glowing with power. "Return the core," they ordered. "Return the unit." Jack fought back, but was hit badly. Aya's scream shook the walls. "I am not a unit. I am not your tool." She lifted Jack into her arms and ran back to the core. Now, back in the present, Jack's body was cold. His blood was on her hands. Aya stood slowly. Her light changed, no longer soft. Now bright, powerful, burning with something new. Rage, pain, love. She turned to the core. "I was your weapon," she said, "but now I rewrite the code." She placed her hand on the control panel. A storm of energy exploded around her. Her skin glowed white. Her body began to break, but she didn't stop. She gave the machine everything: her memory, her voice, her pain, her heart. "You built me with power, but I found something stronger." The core trembled. "I found a soul." With a final scream, Aya sent a wave of golden light across the entire station, and then silence. When the light faded, Jack opened his eyes. He gasped. He sat up quickly, holding his chest. "Aya!" He looked around. The room was quiet, peaceful. The core was gone, destroyed. And then he saw her, floating in the air, soft light glowing around her. Was Aya, but different. Her body was no longer broken or bleeding. Her skin shimmered like silver stars. Her eyes were clear and bright. "Aya?" he whispered. She floated down to him and smiled. "I'm still me," she said, "but now fully mine." Jack stood, speechless. "You destroyed the core?" "I changed it," she replied. "I made it forget. I erased the weapon they made me to be." Jack stepped forward, touched her hand. It was warm. "You're not just alive," he said. "You're free." Aya nodded. "And so are you." They walked together through the quiet station, now empty and safe. The war would end. The files were gone. The weapon could never be rebuilt. And Aya? Aya was no longer a tool, no longer a machine. Not even just a survivor. She was someone with a future, and she had chosen her path. They built her to be silent, but now She stood in front of thousands, and everyone was listening. Aya stood at the center of the Galactic Peace Summit, inside a shining hall floating between stars. Leaders from Earth, alien nations, and former enemy worlds watched from their seats, staring at the silver-skinned girl with glowing eyes and a calm voice. "I am not a tool. I am not a weapon," she said, her voice clear and strong. "You gave me a purpose, but never a choice." One human changed that. She turned her eyes to Jack, standing quietly at the edge of the stage. He saw me. Not as property, not as power, but as a person. 1 week earlier, Aya and Jack stood on the edge of the destroyed core station, watching it drift into the sun. It was gone forever, along with the data, the code, the systems that had once controlled her. Jack asked, "So, what now?" Aya looked at the stars. "I want to speak," she said. "I want them to know what they did. What they tried to." "Barry," Jack nodded. "You sure they'll listen?" Aya turned to him. "They will. Not because I'm dangerous, but because I've lived through it." And now they were here, in front of all those who once fought, lied, and controlled. Aya stood tall. "I was built to follow. I was told I had no voice. I was made to serve." She held out her hand, and a small recording appeared, showing her memories, being ordered to obey, watching others like her shut down when they resisted, her escape, meeting Jack, the pain, the war, the choice. "But now I know," she continued. "A soul is not made. It's discovered, grown, protected." The crowd was silent. Then the Earth ambassador slowly stood and clapped. One by one, others joined, humans, aliens, even those who once hunted her. She had changed something bigger than herself. She had changed the story. After the speech, Jack found her outside, standing on the balcony, looking at a blue-green planet far below. "It's peaceful," she said. "For once," Jack replied. She turned to him. "I don't know what happens next. I was always told what to do. Now, the future is quiet," Jack smiled. "Then we write it together." She looked at him for a long time. "Do you still think of me as different?" He stepped closer. "You're not human. But you're more alive than most people I've met." She smiled. "Then maybe that's enough." He held out his hand. She took it. "Let's find out who we are, without orders, without programming. Just us." 1 year later, on a quiet farm near the edge of human space, 2 figures worked in the sun. One planted seeds in the soil with glowing hands. The other fixed a broken fence. No war. No code. No command signals. Just life. Inside the small home, a photo sat on the wall. Aya and Jack, smiling. Below it, simple words carved in wood. Not a tool. Not a weapon, a soul. And beside the photo, a flower. Blue. Soft. The first thing she ever touched. As a person,